Lions TV, this is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's 1-0 win at the Den against Leicester. It was a sellout. It was another brilliant display and performance from the team, Alex Neil and the entire staff. 4 straight wins now, 3 of which were at home, 3 clean sheets at home and 4 goals in 4 games for Femi. All we need now is the light behind me to stop flashing. There you go. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that the gaffer picked to start the match. Okay, so once again, Sir Alex went with the closest team he possibly could to last time out. The only change was false, and that was Will Smallbone dropping out. He did do what I said I thought he would by bringing in Luke Cundle. I've got no complaints. I would have brought Mitchell in, pushed the North further up the pitch. But Luke Cundle yesterday, I think I said this in the video last time out, that I don't often notice that he does well, and I ask for your opinions on Cundle in the comments. I actually then forgot to look at the comments, sorry about that. But I thought Cundle did well yesterday. I made a definite thing to look out for him because a lot of the time people are saying he does well when he comes on, and I don't really notice him. Previous to that, I seem to have that own, my personal problem with Massimo Luunga. I didn't notice him at first, and people were saying he's doing really, really well. So I made a note of watching him, and they was right. And again, I thought Cundle, a little bit of a shaky start yesterday, gave the ball away a couple of times. That's to be expected. New into the team, a starting 11, a winning starting team as well. So it might have took him a little bit of time to get his confidence going again and let it dawn upon himself that I'm starting the game here and I need to get up to speed quick. But I thought he played well in the game. It was Crocombe in goal, Leonard right back, Zach Sturge left back, Cooper and Kramer the central defence pairing. It was Denor and Derek Mazu-Sako in the centre of midfield. The aforementioned Luke Cundle in a 10, Tierno Ballo on the left, Femi Aziz on the right, and up front as a lone striker, the big garlic, Mihailo Ivanovic. No complaints about that. Like I said, he went with a team that he thought would win us the game. He did allude to, I've watched on Millwall TV Plus this morning, I'm not getting cut in on that deal, but I said the other day, they don't do me no favours. They do. They give me player interviews and keep your eye out for potentially one on the social on Tuesday. It could be happening. If it does, it'll be very, very good. It's a man of the moment, and I won't say any more than that in case for whatever reason it doesn't happen. But yeah, Alex Neil said in his post-match that, I'm really getting everything I can out of these players now. I know I'm putting them potentially at risk. Casper Noor, I think, was one that, can you start again? Can you play again? Because we need to protect these players when we can. But by going with players that he knows are on a roll, that knows that they're all getting on the same page now, and these little 2-3-man sort of link-ups across the pitch, their continuity's through the roof, and they know and they're expecting each other to make the movements and the passes that they are, and that's why it's really, really clicking. Alex Neil did say that. I observed it as well, but the gaffer put it a lot more technically and a lot more intelligently than I ever could. So, one change, like I said, and he got it nailed on. I don't think it was a bad start from us. I did say this in my preview. I thought we was going to draw the game. Thank God I was wrong. We won the game by 1-0. But I think I was one of the few that wasn't predicting a win yesterday, from what I did see on the comments of the score predictions and the preview, and from what I spoke to people in and around the ground before the game. Everyone was going, 2-0, 3-1. And I just thought, I think we're coming up against a better bracket of team, a bigger bracket of club, and taking their league position out of the equation. I just felt that was the case, and it would be a tougher test. And I did think that in the first 10, 15 minutes. I don't think we started slow. I just think, especially after 2 games in a week already, really getting pushed to our maximum against a club that, they just, I'm not saying they got an aura about them because we're beaten by 1-0 and they didn't hardly threaten Max Crocombe, but you're just expectant of it from a team like that. They've won the Premier League. They're a big club, very well publicised with their chairman, etc. Obviously, he tragically died, but now his son's taken over. I think they won the Carabao Cup as well. Jamie Vardy, etc., etc. So there is a bit more of a focus and a bit more of an edge around Leicester, I think, than no disrespect to any Championship teams. There's no easy game in the division. So I didn't think that it was a bad start. It was just what I was expecting, really. Alex Neil did say in his post-match comments as well that it was a sort of a battle to see which team could hurt the other team first. And I agree with that. The first goal, I always say at the Den, is pivotal. He said it as well. But it was a long time coming. And the first half was a very good game, a very good battle, quite evenly contested, I felt, until we scored. Early on, again, I praised the back 5 in the full-time reaction. Max Crocombe yet to let it go on at the Den as well, which is brilliant. Let's hope he keeps that run going. It's just, I know I keep saying it, it's just a real presence in goal. A few other people said it to me yesterday, like what you said about Crocombe, I couldn't agree more. It just seems that the defence are a lot more at ease now. They'll turn around and they'll knock the ball back to him without thinking twice. I think he shanked his first one yesterday in the second half, actually. But other than that, never failed to deal with a back pass, never not wanted a back pass, or he's knocking the ball out the back, or his experience on the pitch. And I think it's breeding through the team now from Crocombe, and definitely into the back four. It's making them a lot more relaxed, knowing they've got a goalkeeper they trust behind him. That's what I've read into it anyway. But he had to call on those defenders a couple of times in the early exchanges. Some really good bodies on the line. Coops has been outstanding, and not enough of you will give him credit, because you all said, oh, Jaff's keeping him in line. Once Jaff's gone, we're going to be shit. Obviously, we're not. Football clubs move on, like I said. And I think Tristan Kramer's already proven himself to be as good as, and potentially better than Tanganga ever was for us. So there you go. That's another one I got right. Anyway, himself and Cooper frying themselves in front of balls and shots that would have given Crocombe something to deal with had they not have done that. But really great defending. Obviously, they munch up everything in the air as it is. Sturridge, I thought he wasn't bad yesterday, he was good, but didn't stand out for me as much as the other three in the first half. I'm going to get on to Ryan Leonard in a minute, or in the whole game. But on reflection of that, I like it, because it just seems like he's slotted in now, and I'm not noticing him. He's there, he's been in part of 4 straight wins and 3 clean sheets at the Den. So at first, as a youngster, he's come from Chelsea. Is he going to be in front of Joe Bryan? Is Joe Bryan going to play? Is Alfie Doughty going to play? I don't think he got on the pitch again yesterday, and that just proves what strength in depth we've got at the minute in several positions. But where I didn't notice him yesterday, I like that. He's there now. He's part of the team. He's part of that established back four. He's part of the furniture, and he's the first choice. And he just went about his business and kept their wingers very, very quiet when he could. On the other side, Ryan Leonard, I have said that I was worried about Lenny playing 3 games in a week. I needn't have been. He was absolutely superb yesterday. I thought him and Kramer in the first half were outstanding. It went back to Ryan Leonard last season. I don't think he ever lost it, actually. People can't get past him, and they're trying everything, and they're flying into tackles, and he really seems to be the one that is in people's faces. I'm going back to the West Brom game now, when West Brom wouldn't kick the ball out for small ball. Lenny was the first one there. At full time, I've seen videos on the club's social media from yesterday and from West Brom. Lenny's the first one there. The tackle he flew into right at death. Like he gets it that he's been in long enough now, and he will be held a Millwall legend despite making a Lions TV worse than ever when he first turned up. I didn't vote for that, by the way. You lot did on the live stream. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. In the second half, I think he was as good, but Kramer just went to a different level in the second half. And Femi Aziz will get man of the match, and rightly so, because that was single-handedly one of the best performances I've ever seen from a player. I said in the video a while back that I saw something in him at the Norwich game at home last year. We already knew he was good, scoring goals, 2 away leads in the FA Cup. I think he got 1 home as well against, was it Sunderland? Seems weird saying that now with him second division. But yeah, I think it was Sunderland. But he showed signs in that game of being a player that, I'm your man. I'm your main man. Give me the ball. I'll dictate and dominate the game. I said the new Jed Wallace, he's already surpassed that again, in my opinion now. Our team's a lot better now than it was then, a lot stronger standard and higher standard of player. So Aziz was brilliant, but Kramer would have to come a close second. But there was probably no point. I don't know if the club have run a poll. They will run a poll on their WhatsApp channel. We got one of them as well, by the way. Don't be shy to follow that. But Kramer brilliant. And the game started, like I said, first 10 minutes, the exchanges were sort of, that they had a couple of opportunities without hurting Crocombe. We got forward a little bit, and as it went on, the longer the first half, I did feel we started to get into it more and have a bit more belief and getting back into the swing of the previous 3 games. And it's 2 chances from Aziz, some really good patterns of play. Denora involved as well, and Kundal involved. And it's 2 efforts from Aziz, isn't it? Both from the same side. One is sort of a cross shot, the goalkeeper gets down and gets hands on it. And the other one, I think, which was before that one, was one that their goalkeeper, the commentator said as well, he almost does the splits to try and save it. But it's the target again, Aziz. And it's looking very well balanced. It's looking a little bit. I was still a little bit nervy. The players weren't playing nervously. They was in by that point. They was all in. Yeah, we're back in our swing. We're going to try and take the game to them. And at one point, as we know now, Casper Denor gets the ball. He opens up, and Henry's saying something to me, and I'm like, what? After the goal, he said, I was saying, do another QPR, do another QPR. Because it's not Billy Mitchell on this occasion. He didn't get into the team, and again, just proves how well others are playing in the squad in his position, and how difficult it's going to be to get them out of that team for any player waiting in the wings, like I said earlier, like Doherty and Mitchell and Nesley. It's the Nor on this occasion, and that's what Henry was saying to me. Do another QPR. He means a long ball to Aziz. I'm going to cover that one. I just said their long ball in a minute. The Nor looks up. Aziz points where he wants it, and it's an unbelievable ball. It's actually, in my opinion, sorry, Billy Mitchell, it's a better ball than Billy played for only one reason. There's less area to hit and more defenders in the space. But he hits the ball. It's beautiful from Kasper. And he still yet might win that Ballon d'Or. But he could get bit by Femi Aziz at this point. But Aziz has got a lot to do still at this point. He's not only trying to hold off the company of a defender who's leaning all over him, and he's showing his strength to hold him off. He's got to watch a ball come out the area. He must half think, is the keeper going to come? Because it was in a really good area where people may not have been certain what they wanted to do, come or stay. But he brings it down with a brilliant touch, and even that, as it bounces up, he couldn't have done any more with that first touch. It bounces up, and he's still got loads to do as he's got the weight of the defender leaning onto him. Keeper to beat, lifts it over him brilliantly. Fantastic goal. 4 goals in 4 games. Absolutely brilliant move again. And I said long ball there. If you are regular on the show watching it, you'll know that throughout the years I've said teams, not just us, overplay. What's happened to a good old fashioned ball over the top in behind defence, get defenders turning? And we've gone to doing that now. But I wouldn't call them long balls, neither of those. They were absolutely accurate and pinpoint. And now the unfortunate thing is, having scored one at QPR and then the exact pretty much carbon copy yesterday, there's going to be teams looking out for that now and looking to nullify it. So, as I said before in other videos, well, no bad time to score a first goal in a game or any goal in a game, but to get it right before half time definitely puts us in the driving seat for the second half. And I'm confident at half time. I think, do you know what? I always think we improve. Although when we're good in first halves under Alex Neil, I used to, under Rao, think, fuck, he needs to get older now at half time and liven them up. 9 times out of 10 with Alex Neil, we played quite well there, but I think he'll get into him and we'll play better. And he's turned into an unbelievable manager. Not only am I worried now about losing Femi Aziz, Kramer long term, but also the gaffer, because he's really fucking doing his thing. And I'm going to mention now before I forget it, at full time, obviously, or once the game's finished, we're all flicking through social media and they've got the cameras on the players on the pitch, and then they do the one coming down the tunnel. Alex Neil's actually come down and fucking get in. We didn't swear, but you give him one, Emily. Come on. Love it from the gaffer. And the belief really seems to be there now. And it's all marrying in. We was expecting this underestimate us no more slogan at the start of the season. Can we get to this level? We're buying these players. And now, dare I say, it feels like it's starting to click. I don't want to jump the gun. But again, referring back to previous videos, I have said, and I'll stand by it, I don't think there's anyone other than Coventry that we should be worried about going into 90 minutes. They've beaten us once, scoreline flattered them potentially. We was chasing it when they scored a couple more. But other than that, I fancy us against anyone in this division. And is it weaker this year with the Ipswiches and the Leicesters and whoever else come down, not doing so great, Southampton? I think that's part of it, but at the same time, I think we're getting to our peak. We're getting to the best level we have in years. We all suspected it would happen before the season. If you are a commenter on our YouTube, you're luckier than me, because what I say is here and you can't take it away. But I remember 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, people in the comments, wow, mid-table at best, these players ain't all that. It just proves what confidence can do. And once you get them playing, and once that belief goes and runs through a group, you know, when we're scoring goals, I didn't cover this, as he scored the one against West Brom. He runs over and obviously, hopefully, he's a fucking Millwall fan, but the other subs jumping all over him, all in, like they're all one big part of it. It's going right through now to, like, I'm going off a bit, obviously, as I always do, this Elias Mansour, who's they're doing behind the scenes stuff on him and other under 21s players, and, you know, the Howlands and the other players that are coming through. It just seems like a real close-knit, like, community. They're probably even getting lurch in the change rooms after the game and getting the champagne bottle spraying. No, that's probably a little bit much. But you know what I'm saying? A real community feel about it. And the only way is up. Yes, it's early. I'm not going to get too excited. One game at a time. But let's get into the second half before we go to the next game. One game at a time, like I say. We come out again. Again, first 5-10 minutes, it's always a little bit, because everyone goes down for half time, all the fans. No one comes back straight away, you're all finishing off their beers. Some people don't ever come back. I don't get that personally, but each to their own. They just stand down in the concourse. I've seen people stand in concourse for 90 minutes before and not watch one kick of football. But anyway, however you want to enjoy Millwall, your day out, it's up to you. But on that basis, I think it makes a little bit, you know, the first 5-10 minutes a bit of a lull. But when it kicks in, it sort of kicks in out of nowhere, because Leicester have got the ball. They're travelling out the back. Femi Aziz just seems to be able to do everything at the minute. It's unbelievable in life. He chases their man down. He robs the ball off him. He drives towards goal. He cuts in the area. Harry Winks has like one slide and doesn't make it. So then he takes a second swipe. Stonewall penalty. Brilliant. Aziz has won it. He's just scored 4 in 4. 2 assists. Man of the moment. He picks the ball up. He throws it to Mihajlo Ivanovic. And I said in my full-time reaction, I can understand why, we definitely still need... I mean, we're doing this well without a real striker, let's be honest. Coburn's injured. Langstar's just come back on the bench. Nisbet left. I know he's not going to play, but you got Ivanovic who scored 1 goal against QPR. So if you're up where you are and you're winning the games you are and you've got the run you're on, the confidence, you usually think point towards a striker there who scored 5-10 goals. We haven't got that, and I think that's why he's handed the ball to Mihajlo Ivanovic. I get it, but I think he should have took it himself and put the game out of sight. I don't know if he takes penalties. I can't see that he can't. He could probably take him with a blindfold on at this rate, the way he's playing, because he's just absolutely thriving. He's full of confidence, full of beans. But like I said, I get why they let the Serb take it. We want to get our striker firing as well. We can't be heavily reliant on one man, which we're not, because they're all playing well, but one man for the final product. You know what? I knew he was going to miss it. I'm not just saying that's to Henry because he's going to miss this. I just knew it. He's low on confidence, and obviously, like I said, that's why they've given him the ball to try and get his confidence up. I said, obviously, we're on the side of it, to the side the goalkeeper dived. It looked like a weak penalty. In the comments at full time, people were saying, well, it weren't a bad penalty, it's right in the corner. I watched it back on the highlights, obviously. I need to film for the Kitchener stand. It didn't look like a bad penalty, but I watched the extended highlights on Millwall TV. How many times I watched the fucking highlights, by the way? And it shows from, behind Ivanovic, as you would have stood. And it's not a great penalty. It's a perfect eye for a goalkeeper. And he saves it. It is what it is. And like I said, when Stephen Bender fucks up at Norwich, it didn't matter. We got away with one and won the game. So that's one good thing. But I just think it's going to hit the Serbs' confidence even more. But, after that, Leicester had 2 opportunities. One was a miss-hit cross, about 80 minutes. And I'm talking on target. They had the bicycle kick that went over the bar. I'm not counting it. Shots on target. It was a miss-hit cross from sort of Docker's stand side that Crocombe had to backtrack and just easily deal with, tip over the bar. And then the other one was the header in injury time, which he gets down to. It's the only time they've hit the target in the game. It just proves how comfortable he was. I did feel nervous. I was getting angry with the ref towards the end because I was going, 6 minutes is up. And people in the comments going, I know I'm being fussy, Dan. And I don't like business, you know that. Just abuse me. You want to abuse me, abuse me. Don't be busy and go, I think you've made a mistake here, because what you should have said was, no, I was at the game and me and 16, 17,000 other Millwall fans were screaming at the ref, blow the fucking whistle. It is a minimum of 6 minutes, but I don't know where he got that from, and it went into 8. So if you're commenting like, oh, shouldn't have done that, well, it wasn't just me, mate. It was the other 17,000 people. Even Alex Neil, on highlights, you heard him go, blow the whistle or something like that. So, but I wasn't that concerned. I didn't think they was going to get back into the game. I think I've said in previous videos that when we haven't scored goals, under previous managers, we could have been there till next Saturday and not scored. I still think Leicester could be playing now and probably not scored, because I'm that assured at the minute and that confident, and the back line were absolutely superb. They all was. They was all brilliant across the ball. I don't want to single anyone out. You have to single Aziz out because it's obvious, and the back line. But I've sort of left the midfield out of this chat. I thought they was all very good again. And then it's good to, take Casper off as a precaution and bring Billy Mitchell on. But I don't think Billy will get back in. And I think rightly so. I think them 3 have got to continue now. A small bone with nothing on, but let's have all positives today. Wish him all the best, obviously. But I think it'll be the same team again. I think he'll keep it rolling. I think, realistically, if you said to Alex Neil, do you want to play again tomorrow? I think he'd take it. I think he'd go, absolutely, put another midweek game in. Because we're rolling at the minute. We've now got a break, haven't we, till next Saturday we travel to Oxford. But I missed a bit of the second half out. It was fine. We was good. We was trying to get forward. We had a couple of opportunities. Aziz put a couple just wide. And we just looked, although we had creating too many goal-scoring opportunities for their goalkeeper to save after the penalty miss, just felt we still looked good going forward. We wanted to get forward, and we didn't sit back and go, all right, we're 1-0 up, 20 minutes left, retract. We don't do that under Alex Neil. It was very, very good, and I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm sure you all are as well. People did say in the comments as well before the game, I'm worried because it's a full house, and we don't usually perform with a full house. I get it, but what I said to a couple of people said that to me at the den as well. What I'll say is, it was sold out at West Brom. That was a full house as well. Same thing happened. So, That's about it. There's nothing to moan about. It's only good news. Just want to say a big thanks, by the way, to a guy named John. I was in the Curry Mahal in Sidcup last night, which is where you can find me after most games, in the Alma, and then over the road to the Curry Mahal. And the waiter comes over and pours me 2 beers. I said, I've just ordered 2 beers, mate. He said, no, they're from that man over there. And fella that watches the channel, thank you very much, John. Sent over a couple of Cobras. I've still got one in the fridge. You might enjoy that. When I watch the football right now, I'm talking about the 2 o'clock kickoffs. It's just about to kick off. You're not watching this at 2 o'clock. You're probably watching it near 7. But there you go. Enjoy what is left of your weekend. I now get a few days off from football and get to go and do my real job instead. Brilliant. But I will be back for a preview for the Oxford game Wednesday, if you remember, or publicly on YouTube on Thursday. It's all looking rosy in SE16. It really, really is. 4 wins on the spin. 3 clean sheets in a row at home. 3 wins in a row at home. 9 points in a week. Femi Aziz, 4 goals and 2 assists. He is the main man at the minute, but confidence is flowing through the whole squad, and credit to every single one of them. And of course, Sir Alex of Nil. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.